Hey, what's up everybody? Ramey here, and today we're talking about gym flooring. You know, can you use these cheap rubber mats you find on Amazon, or what do you need? Do you need to build a platform? So the first thing I'll tell you is that it totally depends what's underneath, what your surface is. I think most people in a garage gym or in a basement have concrete. That's what I have. I have concrete. That's usually what we're talking about. So do you need a mat? And can you lift on anything? And can you use these, these generic mats that you find on Amazon? So let's kind of go into all of that. So let's assume you're lifting on concrete, you're in a basement, or you're in your garage. And you ask, do I need some kind of flooring? I will tell people that one of the best things, when I talk about necessary equipment, one of those pieces of necessary equipment is flooring. Why? Because this is only a 10-pound weight, but if I drop this on concrete flooring from chest height, there's a good chance this sucker's gonna chip my concrete. So you need some kind of flooring because accidents happen no matter how perfect you are. This is only 10 pounds. So even if you're lifting light weights, you absolutely need some kind of flooring. So a lot of people, what they do is they ask, can I use the cheap flooring from Amazon to protect my floor? And the answer is, I don't really want to recommend this kind of flooring whatsoever because it's really cheap. And the problem with it is that it's really thin. You can see this is maybe quarter of an inch measuring. And the problem with it is that there are two problems. One, it squishes in. So if you try to put any type of equipment on it, basically it's doing zero. And when you stand on it, you're actually you're able to so easy press this in that it's actually counterintuitive. It almost shifts your weight while you're on the mat because you can step into it. So if you're trying to do squats on this, it's actually could put weight on certain parts of your foot because it's not a nice hard surface. So that's a bad thing about it. Now, I would say in a short term or lifting light weights, it does help prevent damage. And it is a cheap option for people. It's just not really a great option. I do have these. The only reason I even have these is because when I had my kids and they were babies, they would play on this stuff in our playroom. And so I do use them in my gym as kind of like a backup sometimes. When I do deadlifts, I will, on top of my good flooring, I might put 4 or 5 of these to help silence it a little bit. But that's all these really good for. These aren't a great option, but they're an okay option, and they can work in a pinch, and they are better than nothing. They will help prevent that 10-pound weight from damaging my floor, but they might not actually prevent it. It still might cause a little damage. It also depends if you're using bumpers or metal plates. Now, the type of flooring that most people will recommend, the type of flooring that I have, is what I'm sitting on. This is called a stahl mat. You can buy these in different sizes, but generally most people get these from Tractor Supply. You can get them from other places. I'm sitting on a 4x6 mat that you would buy from Tractor Supply. These things are really heavy, over 100 pounds in heaviness. You can see how thick it is here. This thing is 3/4 of an inch thick. It is hard as a rock when you touch it. It is hard rubber. I mean hard 3/4 inch thick rubber. This is what most people will use to protect their gym floor. It can help withstand greatly some drops. It's great to stand a squat rack on. It's great to work out on. I mean, it's really hard. It is heavy. It does come in different sizes, and there are some different thicknesses of 3/4 of an inch can't work for you due to your ceiling height and your squat rack or something like that. So you can look into all the different sizes and thicknesses, but the general standard that most people use in a home gym is 3/4 of an inch thick Tractor Supply stahl mat. That is what most people get. They're $50 for a 4x6 piece, so you can figure out how much you need. I have 2 pieces in my home gym, which are each 4x6, so I spent $100 on 2 3/4 inch stahl mats. That is all I personally need for my home gym flooring. It is absolutely perfect, and it's nice, hard, thick rubber. Now, you might be asking, can I can I drop my deadlift? What if I'm dropping my deadlift? Is it okay to drop it on the stall mats? Will that protect my concrete flooring? And I will tell you, I have some mixed feelings about this. I've seen some people say that it's okay and they do drop it on their stall mat and it's fine. I personally am of the belief that if you are dropping deadlifts, especially if you're doing any kind of like Olympic lifting where you're dropping from high heights, even with bumper plates, I really highly recommend that you have a platform, and your flooring underneath your deadlift is a platform with 1 to 2 pieces of plywood to help take that shock, that plywood underneath your stall mats. So I think if you're dropping weight on purpose, I highly recommend a platform. If you are just general lifting, I don't drop my deadlifts whatsoever. If you're just general lifting, this stall mat, perfect flooring. Put underneath your rack, put underneath all your equipment. It's gonna take drops, it's gonna take a lot, it's gonna really protect your floor. You're doing any kind of deadlifting, yes, please build a platform. If you're, in a pinch, these can be okay. These can be helpful in some situations. They're really not ideal for lifting though. They're really not made for it, but they can work in a pinch. So yeah, that's home gym flooring. This stall mat is what most people have. It's what everyone is gonna recommend you get these as your what you have. Again, they're really heavy, so be prepared if you have them delivered, or be prepared if you go to the store to pick them up to buy them. They're really big. These are 4x6. They do make them smaller, like in half size, and you can cut these as needed. So you can cut them if you need to make them smaller, but be prepared if you're carrying them up or downstairs. They're quite heavy. You kind of have to fold them up to carry them. And be prepared if you're gonna put them in your car, that they are big and they are heavy. So, all right, that's my recommendation for a home gym floor, y'all. Later.